Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. My name is Wan Shafinas binti Wan Omar, and in this video I'm going to reflect on my micro teaching which was conducted on 10th of December 2024 at Sekolah Kebangsaan Kota Aur. Moving on, let's see our lesson title for that day. So our lesson title for that day is Let's Go Shopping, Speak and Act. So based on our lesson title, we aim to enhance our students' speaking skills, and we achieve this aim by doing a role play activity. So before I begin to explain about my micro teaching, it is important to understand what is diversity and what is 21st century education. So diversity in education refers to recognizing and embracing differences among students in terms of their culture, ethnicity, language, religion, socio-economic background, learning styles and also abilities. And on the other hand, the 21st century education focuses on preparing students with skills like critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, and digital literacy to thrive in a fast-changing world. Okay, after applying both of these elements into my micro teaching, there are a few reflections that I can make. So as stated before, the activity that we conducted was role playing. As you know, role playing is one of the activities in 21st century education. This is because the elements of collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity are in the role play altogether. So the role play activity not only include in the 21st century education, it also promotes diversity. How? It is a universal and a culturally relevant activity. This ensures that all the students from diverse backgrounds can relate to and engage to the context. As we know, as I explained before, the theme of the role play was Let's Go Shopping. So all of the students could relate to the shopping scenarios where they could always go to everyday shop and then experience the shopping scenarios. So they could use and apply the scenarios to our role play activity. So it is said to be a culturally relevant activity. In conducting the lesson, we utilize a few materials. So first of all, we use LCD projector, and then using the LCD projectors, we show the students our teacher lecture slides. We are using lecture slides to explain to the students from the beginning to the end of the activity, especially during the instruction given by the teacher. And then we also use the projector to show the students a video clip of a shopping scenario which happened in a cartoon. So the students could see and watch the video using the LCD projector. And apart from technology, we also utilize a few concrete materials. We prepare printed food pictures and also fake money. So as you guys can see, today I brought with me a printed food pictures that we used during our activity, and then also we have a fake money that we utilize in the role play activity itself. Okay, moving on to the next one, which is our teaching strategies work well. So to answer this question, we first need to know what are the objectives of our lesson. So we have two learning objectives that we aim to achieve. So first of all, our first objective is that at the end of the lesson, the students should be able to apply conversational phrases to stimulate shopping scenarios. So this was achieved as we, as teachers, we observed that most students manage to use appropriate sentences in their role play activity. Sometimes, even the students came up with their own sentences which connected to the shopping scenarios, and that was very good. Okay, for the second one, at the end of the lesson, the students should be able to collaborate effectively to organize and perform their roles within the group activity. This was achieved as we observed that most students cooperated effectively with their teammates during the role play activity. Some of the students who are stronger than others, they guide their friends throughout the activity. Okay, let's move observed that most of them gave their full attention and commitment during the activity. Not only that, during the instruction given by the teachers, all the students seemed to give their full attention, and then they also understood how to execute the activity in groups without much assistance from us teachers. And then we could see that most of our students seemed to have fun while conducting the activity with their friends. Some of them were seen laughing and then enjoying the process of the role play activity. Let's move on to our next one, which was the classroom management. Okay, we have a few strategies that we use for our classroom management. So one of the strategies we used was providing clear instructions. The activities were explained step by step to ensure that all the students fully understood how to conduct the activity in groups. This approach minimized a lot of confusion and allowed students to focus on their task. And not only that, before starting the role play activity, us as teachers, we demonstrated each step involved so that they had a clear vision of the flow of the activity. For example, I was at the front and I was explaining the instruction for the students, and then we have a few of other teachers, which were my groupmates. They were demonstrating how the step by step went so that the students could understand and saw the vision of the flow of the activity. So second, another crucial element of our classroom management was time management. The lesson plan was designed with specific time allocations for each component to ensure that a smooth transition from one activity to the next. For example, we allotted time for introducing the lesson, watching the video, explaining the instructions, conducting the role play, and finally reflecting on the activity. And number three, we also prioritized teacher monitoring during the class. While the students conducted their role play activity in their groups, we as teachers, we actively observed and supported each group. Not only that, those teacher monitoring ensured that the students stayed on task, but it also allowed us to address any challenges they faced in real time. And then lastly, we incorporated differentiation to accommodate the diverse needs of our students. We recognize that not all students have the same proficiency level, and most of the students have varying proficiency levels. So, we prepared a few dialogue examples to guide those who needed additional support. We projected the dialogue examples to the LCD, and for those students who needed the support, they could use the dialogue that we prepared in their role play. And then we also encourage peer support within the group, and then we allow stronger students to assist their teammates who needed extra help. This strategy promoted inclusivity and ensured that all students could participate meaningfully regardless of their language abilities. Let's move on to the next one, which is the challenges faced by the teachers. Of course, we faced a few challenges during the lesson that we conducted. So first of all, one of the challenges that we faced was insufficient amount of time. Even though the activity was designed with specific time allocations for each component, we ended up requiring much more time to complete the lesson, as we realized that the students needed extra time to understand the instructions. Even though the instructions given were pretty much straightforward and clear, some of the students needed the extra help in understanding the instructions. So the time will drag into near to the limit because we use a lot of time in giving the instructions so that all of the students understand what we are trying to deliver to them. The time allocated for us, which was 30 minutes, was not enough. So this led to a change in the middle of the class. We have to change our plan during the mid of the class. The initial plan was that we will call each group to come in front and then do the role play together in a group. However, after we we are reaching the time limit, we only call a few representatives from each group to come in front and then do the role play. So the other students could only observe and watch their friends, which means that some of the students were not able to conduct the role play in front of the class. And then the second challenge that we faced was related to the first one. While conducting the lesson, we discovered that the students' English language proficiency was at a very basic level. Even though all of the students were all in level 2, which was year 4, year 5 and year 6, but their English language proficiency level was at level 1. Okay, and then this was the reason why they struggled to understand the instruction, and we as teachers quite struggled to make sure that we delivered the instructions clearly to the students. Moving on to the next one, which is the adjustments needed for future lesson. Okay, reflecting on our lesson, there are a few adjustments that we could make in the future if we were to conduct the same lesson again. So first of all, instead of calling the group one by one to come in front and conduct the role play while the others will observe their friends in the front, we could conduct the activity in their group simultaneously, which means that all of the groups will sit in their place together and then conduct the role play activity at the same time. So this will minimize the time needed, and this will address the issue of insufficient time. Second one, we realized that we lack acknowledgement of students' effort. So we as teachers, we should make efforts to praise students more and acknowledge their effort so that they feel appreciated and motivated to continue doing their best in conducting the activity. And last but not least, the conclusion of my micro-teaching is that reflecting on this experience, I have gained a deeper appreciation and understanding for the importance of diversity in education and 21st century education in shaping effective teaching practices. Embracing diversity has taught me to design lessons that are inclusive and relatable to ensure that all the students from various backgrounds can engage meaningfully. Meanwhile, integrating 21st century education principles has highlighted the significance of fostering skills like collaboration, communication, and creativity. These insights have broadened my perspective on teaching, emphasizing the need for the adaptability and innovation to create an engaging and supportive learning environments for all students. So that's all from me.